that chick, Dr. Daniels. This chick is arguably 700 pounds. And as my eyes picked up the frequency of what she was gurgling, I decoded it as this. She said, niggas, niggas, niggas. She was talking about all this stuff about men, how she don't need. Here's this woman. Here's this thing, brother. Treasure trove of fat cellulite. Here's a chick that will say, I'm too blessed to be stressed. Her knees, her joints, her body fat, everything is wreaking havoc on this creature. And she has no problem with that. She can't rap about that. She can't rap about her visceral body fat, but she can rap about a man, because that, my friends, is the curriculum of the sisterhood. Ignore all your problems. Everything that you say, everything that you do, every bad act that you commit, a man must be on the receiving end of it. And that is the sisterhood. November 28th, 2025. We'll make this one short. I find black women so unattractive because of the sisterhood, the oath, the perspective and narrative in which they run on. You know, it's kind of like, this is a diesel truck that I'm in. This is a diesel. They have gas versions. If I put gas in here, it will malfunction. The sisterhood will malfunction off of anything good. They run proper when they execute and promote dysfunction. You want an example of this, yes? Glad you do. I was looking at that chick, Dr. Daniels. This chick is arguably 700 pounds. And as my eyes picked up the frequency of what she was gurgling, I decoded it as this. She said, niggas, niggas, niggas. She was talking about all this stuff about men, how she don't need. Here's this woman. Here's this thing, brother. Here's this creature sitting on a treasure trove of fat cellulite. Here's a chick that will say, I'm too blessed to be stressed. Her knees, her joints, her visceral body fat, everything is wreaking havoc on this creature. And she has no problem with that. She can't rap about that. She can't rap about her visceral body fat, but she can rap about a man, because that, my friends, is the curriculum of the sisterhood. Ignore all your problems. Everything that you say must. Everything that you do, every bad act that you commit, a man must be on the receiving end of it. And that is the sisterhood. November 28th, 2025. We'll make this one short. I find black women so unattractive because of the sisterhood, the oath, the perspective and narrative in which they run on. You know, it's kind of like, this is a diesel truck that I'm in. This is a diesel. They have gas versions. If I put gas in here, it will malfunction. The sisterhood will malfunction off of anything good. They run proper when they execute and promote dysfunction. You want an example of this, yes? Glad you do. I was looking at that chick, Dr. Daniels. This chick is arguably 700 pounds. And as my eyes picked up the frequency of what she was gurgling, I decoded it as this. She said, niggas, niggas, niggas. She was talking about all this stuff about men, how she don't need. Here's this woman. Here's this thing, brother. Here's this creature sitting on a treasure trove of fat cellulite. Here's a chick that will say, I'm too blessed to be stressed. Her knees, her joints, her visceral body fat, everything is wreaking havoc on this creature. And she has no problem with that. She can't rap about that. She can't rap about her visceral body fat, but she can rap about a man, because that, my friends, is the curriculum of the sisterhood. Ignore all your problems. Everything that you say must. Everything that you do, every bad act that you commit, a man must be on the receiving end of it. And that is the sisterhood. November 28th, 2025. We'll make this one short. I find black women so unattractive because of the sisterhood, the oath, the perspective and narrative in which they run on. You know, it's kind of like this is a diesel truck that I'm in. This is a diesel. They have gas versions. If I put gas in here, it will malfunction. The sisterhood will malfunction off of anything good. They run proper. I'm back! Ford my corny ass. What's up, y'all? Nuggets at noon, December 2nd, 2025. I am, as I am always in the month of December, we're not on a call you on a time schedule. You put in consultation, we call you. It's how it is in November. In November, we're on a different protocol. So for all my clients out there that this stuff got garlic in it. I brought this honey with garlic in it, garlic cloves. And so just understand that, people, I am in full understanding as to what I mean to you guys. And what I mean by what I mean to you guys is I mean to what I do in the perspective and narrative in which and how I execute. I am in full understanding of what I am. I am conscious of the powers that be. I am conscious of
Bluetooth disconnected.
Thank you. I am conscious of individuals that try to make it appear as though I am doing something wrong. The powers that be want to keep you guys in the dark. I am to be scared. But as I tell individuals, I'm a fighter. And I don't understand, nor will I ever understand, the perspective and narrative that I should be scared. I'm not interested in that. Wow. Are you serious? I mean, why? I'm not doing that. I want to put what I want to put. Jesus. So you know that's just where I am. So I definitely appreciate you guys for being here. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but again, today is December the 2nd, 2025. Nuggets at noon. We're going to talk about it. As the title reads and as it states, when you go to family court, they do nothing but sell fear. This is why everybody have names like guardian, commissioner, hearing officer. You guys, you go to these hearings and you're already preset on intimidation. What I do here is help you guys understand you need not be afraid of anything. Because as I told my client that I spoke to this morning, I'm a black man. I spent my entire life conscious of what having a record means to me. From 1986, when I got arrested and that white police officer looked out for me and erased my record because he said in the 20 plus years he's been an officer, he never arrested a black kid that was concerned with having a record. And that record and that incident disappeared. To today, some 40 years later, where I am. So I help you guys understand going to family court all starts with them selling you fear, with them selling you scared, with them selling you the narrative of because you're talking to a hearing officer, you can't tell them to fuck off. You never heard a hearing officer say, I'm gonna lock you up. But yet y'all go there acting as such. We're gonna talk about that here today. 732-875-9111. When you need me for a consultation, text $50 consultation. I'm ready when you're ready. Yowza, yowza, yowza. You know, I'm gonna say something right quick. This is completely left. I'm gonna say something right quick. You know, I love the Fugees. I do. I love the Fugees. I love Praz. Um, it broke my heart to hear that man got 14 years. You know, really. Um, I used to know. I used to work with Milky. Milky is Praz. I'm sorry. Milky is Wyclef's sister. Her husband and I used to work at the post office together. So I used to go to the recording studio in Irvington, New Jersey, where they used to record before they were big, when they was making their first album. So I watched the Fugees. I used to hang out with Wyclef's wife, Dina. I remember one time I had a Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive. It was Wyclef's wife, me, Wyclef's sister, and my man Mitch, all crammed in that car, and we were going to they were throwing a fashion show. So it broke my heart, really. I never seen Praz as much as I seen Wyclef. I seen Lauryn Hill about 3 or 4 times, but I used to see Clef all the time. But I love Praz, man. I love the ghetto superstar. Some got hopes and dreams. We got ways and means. The supreme dream team, always up with a scheme. I think that is one of the hardest bars ever said in rap. Oh my gosh, man! It broke my heart to hear that guy got a 14 years. Praz, the Fugees. I love them guys. So that's why, being from Newark, New Jersey, seeing, the Fugees. I remember I went to Wendy's one time and Vinny was in the drive-through from Naughty by Nature. It's just, I remember I had a house in Orange, New Jersey, and KG from Naughty by Nature, he lived on Berkeley Avenue in Seven Oaks. And he used to live on Berkeley Ave. He used to live in Berkeley Ave. His family kept the house, but he got a house in West Orange, New Jersey. And he used to drive through my block. And I remember one time I was leaning up on a car and I seen him and I put my hand over my back like that and he hit his horn. And I was like, holy shit, KG. I remember I was delivering pizza for Pizza Hut in South Orange, New Jersey on Valley Road and delivered a pizza to KG's house. 748 Berkeley Avenue in Orange, New Jersey. He don't own the house no more. That's why I can say the address. He don't own the house no more. 748 Berkeley Avenue. And I remember I knocked on the door. His parents came and said, around the back, around the back. I goes around the back, and there's the pool. This dude had a full basketball court, bleachers, a full Olympic-sized pool, a jacuzzi with the Naughty by Nature bat in the jacuzzi, the whole Naughty by Nature logo in the pool in his backyard. And I remember I went down in the back, came around there, and I said, wow, super producer KG himself. He was like, what's up, man? I can't, wow. I'm so sorry to hear about what happened with Prize, man. May God bless you, brother. May God bless you. I am truly sorry to hear that. Really. I wish you the best, man. All right. I just had to say that. But again, I want to talk about something here today. I want to talk about something here today. And what I want to talk about is the unfortunates. Wow, I didn't even post it. The unfortunates that you guys, the unfortunates of what you guys buy into when you go to family court. You buying into fear. So I'm going to simply tell you this for this segment. If you know you're doing something right when they tell you to get an attorney, I suggest you get an attorney. Attorneys' main thing is to get you to participate in shit. The main thing an attorney will try and tell you, if you were so in over your head, why are they telling you to get an attorney? Shouldn't you be an easy win? If you was in so much danger, let me get my Donald Trump, you so much danger. Why are they telling you to get an attorney? Why would you put a worm on a hook, throw it in the water, but then put a sign on in the water saying worms don't bite hook? It is an amazing game of chess that an attorneys try and play. You are in over your head. Get an attorney. 732-875-9111. Just simply text your name and $50 consultation. I'm ready when you're ready. It's amazing. 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 I mean, you might want to get an attorney. Right. Yeah. I'm not going to go fight somebody and say, you might want to go get your gun before I get to you. Up! You may want to knuckle up. I'm about to sneak you. Nobody does that. No, nobody does that. Nobody does that. You heard what I said? Nobody does that. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. People, you don't have to talk to a hearing officer. Excuse me. What you'll be told in order to accept talking to a hearing officer and to get your words interpreted, you'll say, I want custody of my kids because I have better living arrangements. You're saying it don't mean nothing when you say that to a hearing officer. What a hearing officer is going to hear is, I definitely want to fight for custody. So a hearing officer is not going to write to the courts, father has better living arrangements, that's why he should have custody. They're going to write up, they're going to take your words, bend them, twist them, flip them backwards and say, the father wants custody of the child, the mother wants full custody. That's what the courts, that's what's going to get to the judge. So if you want to deal with a hearing officer and don't listen to me, and don't send me a text message, 732-875-9111. Don't reach out to me for a consultation. Cool. Just ask the hearing officer this. When I tell you what I want, what are you going to tell the judge? Will I be able to look at what you're going to submit to the judge before you submit it to the judge? They'll say, no, I'm an authority here. I'm a hearing officer. And you will do what I simply did. Look, who do you think you're talking to? I never went to jail. Never got held in contempt. Nothing happened to me. You know why? Because a hearing officer don't mean shit. That's why. Y'all keep believing it. Y'all keep believing it. Y'all keep believing it. Now, today is December 2nd, 2025. If you believe that you must talk to a hearing officer, I got a question for you. If you believe you must talk to a hearing officer, how come in some states both people must consent to a hearing officer? How come? How come? And you consent to a hearing officer because you're turning over your rights to a third party person to come up with a conclusion to your situation. How come? How come? How come? How come in some states both of y'all must consent? So I'm like, you do know we did a check. You got the state that you don't have. How come? How come? Because they mean absolutely nothing. Again, you keep thinking they mean something. How many times have you went in front of a hearing officer and they asked you all the questions? When was the last time you went in front of a hearing officer and the hearing officer asked them, so where are the kids going to live at? And they wasn't talking to you. So how come when you have better living arrangements than the mother, living arrangements is not an issue here? How come when you work and she don't, it's, well, you work, so how are you going to tend to the kids? What? How come they now making working the enemy of taking care of kids? You fell for that, didn't you? Yeah, you did. You fell for it. Shut up. You fell for it. You fell for it. You fell for the perspective of having a job, being an enemy. Having a job, excuse me, is the reason why, having a job is the reason why you cannot be a father. And you brought it. Yes, you did. You brought it. You know why? Because you was already scared at the time it took, before the court hearing, you was already scared. You was already scared. You was already scared. You had already submitted to the fact that you was going to go to court and lose custody. You had already submitted to the fact you was going to go to court and you're going to take your kid. You already submitted to it. Yes, you did. Shut up. Yes, you did. You already submitted to it. I don't I don't believe in no narrative. Um, there's somewhere where so this is this is this is what I'm telling y'all here today. At some point, you have to backtrack the point of fear. At some point, you have to backtrack the point of fear. At some point, you have to say to yourself, okay, I got a letter to come to court. And now you're going to start adding all the fear. That's what you do. You're going to start adding a bunch of fear. Okay, I need to be scared. Okay. No, you did nothing wrong. Nothing. What are you scared of? At some point, you have to cross the threshold of scared. Oh, they're going to take my kid from me. I got a client in South Carolina who had somebody start a custody war with her, and they live in an RV. She lives in a house. So you're going to start a custody war and you live in an RV. She was scared. She went to court and took that punch. And then we found out, wait a minute, you cannot use an RV as a residence. But the person, see, this is what women do. And in this case, it was a man. You don't start a custody war with somebody and you live in an RV. And in your paperwork, your attorney, oh, we're going to buy a house. And in the same motion, you only make $400 a month. So I drafted up a motion. What motherfucking underwriter is going to give you a mortgage at $400 a month and you make $400 a month? So at what point and why did she cross that threshold of having her children taken from her? 732-875-9111. Starts with a consultation. I strip your fears. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm stripping your fears. You got nothing to be scared of. They want you to be scared. Be scared. Be scared. Oh, be a scaredy cat person. Be scared. Oh, be scared. Again, if they tell you to get an attorney, you think I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm going to kick your ass. Go get 10 of your friends. Yeah, who does that? Who does that? Hey, I'm going to kick your ass. You better go get 10 of your friends. Who says that? Who says that? Who? Who says that? Nobody. Nobody. You guys said it simply. You guys go to court and you allow low value things that the mother have in abundance to be things that you should have. She don't have a job, but because you got a job, how are you going to watch the kids? She don't have a place to stay. Oh, well, we're not here for that. We just want the quality of time spent with the children. Like somebody got to be over the child every day. We have allowed, or you have allowed, we all went to school to have a better life. And this theory is thrown out of the window when you go up against a mother that has nothing. You have a life. Oh, life values and things mean nothing. It's just who can be there for the child. Nobody can be there for the child. Everybody got to put and have themselves in a position where they can provide for the child. The primary functions to live. Nope, that means nothing. And the reason why is because you go to court and you don't know how to argue. You don't. You say you do, but you don't. 732-875-9111. You don't. You don't. You have no idea how to argue. I'm not going to believe you do. I'm not. You can say what you want. I'm not going to believe. I'm not going to believe it. Stop being scared. Stop allowing all these individuals with these names to scare you. Just stop.